So the Cape Verde game just ended, and if I was a neutral fan, I would say, what a game. What a game. That's what I would say, but I'm not, as you can see. I am Cape Verdean. And first of all, what I saw tonight was, I'd like to make this clear. I have not been watching soccer for very long. I've watched a little bit in the past, but this World Cup has really brought me into soccer. So this is kind of like my first time really watching as many games as I have. I've watched a lot of these games, and so I've picked up a few things. I've picked up some of the rules, and whoever sees this video, drop it down in the comments. Correct me if I'm wrong. Teach me a little some. But what I saw was an upset that should have happened. What I saw was a team that grouped together just like they did in the group stages and fought. Coming into the game, Argentina ranked number 1 in the world. Now, going into the game, that's what I thought too. I thought, oh yeah, they got to be the best team, right? Not just because of Messi, but just because of them as a group. They are very good, right? And so that's what I did think until this game happened. I'm not convinced that they're the best team. And I'm still feeling the heartbreak of the loss, obviously. But the way that I see it, I don't want to fully blame this game on it was rigged, the referee, the this and that. It was a good game from both sides. I think overall it was a good game. Technically, Argentina was the better team. They're a very good team, obviously. Like, I know that. They are a very good team, but I have doubts that they are the best team in the world after tonight. And the reasons for that, first of all, big claps and props to Vozinha. This guy, first of all, against Spain in the group stages, played incredibly. 7 saves, I think, in that game. Unbelievable. He did somehow, even better this game. I know he gave up 3 goals, technically, but in my eyes, he did even better. I think it was 8 or 9 saves. I counted about 4 or 5 were on Messi in pretty open field. A couple of them were on free kicks, so not totally open, but pretty open field on a few of those. And he was unbelievable in this game. But where do I start? Going into the game, I did feel a little bit, I definitely wouldn't say hopeless, because, from what we've done in the group stages, I would never feel hopeless about this team. But I definitely did have doubt. Argentina number 1, like they show the graphic, Argentina number 1, Cape Verde number 67 in the world ranking and all that. So, you feel a little bit of doubt. And then you got the, the commentators or whatever before the game, all of them saying Cape Verde had no chance or whatever, right? If I'm being honest, that gave me a little bit more hope, because that's exactly what they said when we went against Spain. And so that definitely gave me a little more hope. But I'll be honest with you, after the first half of play, there were some shines of hope. Not many, maybe 1 or 2. I didn't feel much hope after that first half. We were down 1-0, and it didn't look like much was going to happen. After the first half, I didn't even think that we would score a goal. So we tied up 1-1, and the game was a little bit ago, and this moment that I'm about to get into was also a little while ago, so I don't fully remember it, how much time was on the clock, or I don't remember all of that. I don't know if it was before the hydration break, before the end of the 90 minutes, I don't know. It might have been by the end of the 90 minutes, or right before the end of the 90 minutes. There was a play. Cape Verde actually had a run going on the left side of the field. Number 26, I think, had the ball. And as he's going, he's running straight. He tries to turn it back on a, kind of a hard stop and go the other way. Argentine, player steps on his foot, or kind of kicks his shin a little bit, knocks him down. No call. No call. And so, and minutes before in the same half, I believe, the same thing happened to Lionel Messi. Lo and behold, he does get the call. I mean, I knew that was going to happen at some point in this game, but that was unbelievable. And the ironic part is, if they called that a penalty, which it should have been, because it definitely was a penalty, the ironic part is later in the game, with Cape Verde literally with their backs against the wall, in the 103rd minute, had a free kick from that same exact spot almost the identical spot. And Sidney Lopez Cabral drills it to tie the game at 2. And so that's where I firstly start to wonder, well, what could have been? What could have been? Now, the whole entire game, after the Sidney Lopez Cabral goal, felt like a dream. I did not feel like I was living in real life. It felt like a dream. But in this game, of course, Cape Verde got away with some stuff too, because I mean, I feel like overall the referee wasn't calling it, which can be very dangerous because he gets a little too free and doesn't call enough, like that call that I just talked about. And then you guys correct me if I'm wrong, because at the end of the game I was a little bit upset because, like, at the very end, 123rd minute, which is crazy, no one expected that to happen. I'll talk about that more in a second, but right at the end of the game, Cape Verde had the ball, right? And it got kicked out of bounds by Argentina, I'm pretty sure. I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong again. I believe that it was kicked out by Argentina, 123rd minute. Cape Verde was in Argentina's third. They were in their territory. I thought, after watching these games, the notion that I picked up was that unless the ball is cleared out of the area, the game does not stop. Like, if we are in their third, the game continues until that ball is cleared. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I thought that was a little bit weird too, especially after the calls earlier in the game. I thought that was a little bit weird because we had one more chance. Like, I think that the commentator nailed it when he asked the question, does lightning strike twice? Like, yes, it would have been a long shot that we scored, but the second goal from Cabral in the 103rd minute was also a long shot. Anything could have happened. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the game should have kept on going until it was cleared. Who knows, maybe we have a penalty shootout there. But yeah, man. I still respect Argentina because they play very, very smooth. Like, I mean, especially when you compare them to a team like Cape Verde. Like, if you ask me who played better tonight, Argentina. Like, I can say that confidently. Like, in terms of their class and their technical ability, they are the better team. But Cape Verde showed up, and I feel like the ref did not allow us to get much. And of course, these are only a couple of chances, but that's all that it takes. We had 2 goals in this game. A couple of chances, that's all that it takes. And this game could be completely different. I don't want to be ultra biased, and I'm not. I don't feel like I'm being ultra biased when I say that there were a couple points there where little weird. Let me know if you think the same in the comments. Little bit weird. Let me know if I just need to get educated. I don't know, man. I know for sure, like, no one can tell me otherwise, that point that I talked about, that should have been a penalty kick, that was 100% a penalty. I have no doubt about that. I don't think any of you should have any doubt either. He kicked him right in the shin. We did the same thing to Messi not long ago, and he also got a free kick, which Vozinha blocked beautifully. But yeah, I think that was the one that, yeah, because Vozinha blocked, I think, 2 of his free kicks in this game. Again, awesome game from Vozinha. But ultimately, I deserve, and Cape Verde deserves, the team, the nation, which, by the way, I was expecting more people than that. It was literally, like the commentator said, like a 95% to 5% ratio of Argentina fans to Cape Verde fans. It was insane. But these guys deserve a lot of apologies and respect because they were making Cape Verde look like clowns on the pre-show. They were making them look like frauds. And even though they say anything can happen in football, that's not what I wanted to hear. And I doubt that it was what anyone else wanted to hear after you guys just clowned on the whole entire team, on the whole nation, and just glazed Messi like you always do. So next time, shut your mouth. Next time that Cape Verde gets into a spot like this, because I know that they will have another chance in another 4 years. I know that they're going to be back after this. Shut your mouth next time, because that was disrespectful. Making like there was absolutely no chance at all. That was disrespectful, especially after what we did to Spain, after scoring and going 2-2 against Uruguay. That was disrespectful. Yeah, it might be an interesting opinion, since I haven't watched much soccer. Some of you might have been expecting me to say, after this game, man, Argentina, they're a lot better than I thought that they were in my head. No, they're not. They can be ranked number 1 in the world all they want. Cape Verde, number 67 in the world, just showed up and should have had at least 3 more chances that the ref did not grant. Again, like I said, I don't want to be a complainer. I'm just stating what I saw. But overall, good game. 120 plus minutes, 123 total minutes, or 24, I think actually it ended up going up to. And yeah, Cape Verde ultimately shocked the world. I think that was a big thing anyways. Like, even though we didn't, end up winning this game, a lot more people are talking about the nation that was the smallest ever in a World Cup knockout stage. So shout out to Cabo Verde and what they did. I'll still be rooting for USA and Portugal. But yeah, man, I just think there's some interesting calls that were made and calls that were not made. But overall, I guess, congratulations to Argentina. They're going to try to repeat this year. And we gave them a run for their money, man. I think we will be their hardest challenge until the final, because I expect them to make it. But anyways, man, let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. And educate me, teach me. Any football knowledge that you have, let me know. And any Cape Verdeans in the comments, let me know what y'all thought. Shout out to everybody that went out to that game, every Cabo Verde fan that went out to that game. You were one of very few, but very needed. We needed at least some people there. So yeah, that's about it. This is day 10 of the streak. I have not forgotten about that. But yeah, man. Thank you, Cabo Verde, for some pretty insane memories in my first ever time watching the World Cup. That's all I got, man. Y'all have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whatever it is. Peace.